This is the Charlestown Chiefs, brought to you by Sheehan's Rustproofing. The Chiefs have just come out on the ice for a warm-up period. They're about to try for their 5th consecutive win. They're getting a good round of applause from their own booster club, who have traveled all the way from Charlestown to be here in Peterborough tonight.
Stop doing those diet or workout fads to lose weight. Use the tried and true approach from Rockin' That Ideal Life that helps you find balance while enjoying food in moderation and nourishing your body. Try the Lean 30 program at rockinthatIdealLife.com and let today be your last first day of your weight loss journey.
When buying or selling your home, you need to feel protected. Realtor Mike Burgoyne not only looks out for your interests, but as a St. Louis area police officer will make sure you feel safe and well-informed with every decision. Email Mike at strikewithmike.com and start the process today. That's Mike at strikewithmike.com.
Welcome to episode 9 of season 13. This is episode number 440 all-time of the often imitated, never duplicated. Looking at cleavage is like looking into the sun. You don't stare at it. It's too risky. You get a sense of it, then you look away. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Let's Go Blues Radio. Special thanks to our sponsors, RockinThatIdealLife.com and Realtor Mike Burgoyne. Please, for once again, proudly sponsoring the show, please check them out. Also, don't forget to check out our t-shirt shop at Let'sGoBlues.com for the very best St. Louis Blues t-shirts at an unbelievably fair price. It's Tuesday, December 5th, and we're streaming live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitters. To interact with the show on social media, our handle on all the socials is at LGB Radio. I'm Kurt Price, and my co-hosts for the big show tonight are Bill Day and Jeff Ponder. The agenda for tonight includes discussion about, we'll talk about the last 3 Blues games and how the Blues are doing in general. We have a Jake Wallman goal celebration deciding we're going to talk about. Get your thoughts on that. And the recent Board of Governors meetings happened. And all that and more on this edition of Let's Go Blues Radio. Jeff is in the holiday spirit, I see. Nice Blues hat. Ugly sweater. Nice job.
Yeah, it's I think I wore this actually over the summer when I got it. I got the Minnesota Whitecaps holiday sweater they wore last year. So I thought it was a good-looking thing. I was like, when they kind of went under, I said, let's see how much I can get that jersey for. I think it was like $45. I was like, hell yeah. So yeah, this hat, we commented on it every year. It's it was one that was only available. Yeah, I think it was only available 1 year. And then they started mass producing the other one that you see everywhere. Everyone has now. So I'm lucky to have this guy. This guy will be on the show every single year.
Yeah, the one they have now is kind of cheapy. It doesn't look as nice.
I have it, but yeah, it's not as good. It's not as warm. And it's just it's your generic design. I think every NHL team has the same design.
Yeah.
This one was done, I think, by a local person or a local studio. So it's it's a good look.
Bill, how are you, sir? Decked out in blue?
Decked out in blues blue.
Blues blue.
Yeah. I think at the time that I bought this quarter zip, it's not a Blues official thing. I think it's maybe even be from the Gap back when they produced decent clothes. And because I'm white, I shop at the Gap, right? Isn't that the great Seinfeld episode? Wait, you mean we're both white? Do you want to go to the Gap?
The Gap is for white people. I never really thought about that before.
It is. But yeah, so I got it thinking, this actually wouldn't be too bad to wear underneath the Blues jersey, going to Blues games. And yeah, so
they look great.
It works well color-wise.
Well, you look good. There was a Christmas party at Cardinals Nation. They do this every year. This Friday, 6 p.m. It is open to the public. Any reservations? DJ Joe is there for entertainment. You've heard us talk about him before with the Cards pregame. They do the official Cards pregame before every St. Louis Cardinals game during the season, and it's a lot of fun. Every home game, I guess, a lot of fun. They're going to have on Friday drink and food, discounted food and drink, prizes and giveaways, 3 hours validated parking, and of course DJ Joe for entertainment. So I will be there, but Bill and Ponder will not. Bunch of losers.
Tough weekend
Can't
for
make the
me.
party.
Can't make it.
Yeah.
We went last year. I went with you and
Yeah.
Amy and I think Zoe went too, right?
Yeah,
And we had a great time. So yeah, definitely worth checking out if you have anything. You don't have anything going on already on Friday. It's a shame I won't be there, but hey, you can meet Kurt Price. That's even better.
And also the part of the giveaways, Let's Go Blues Radio has donated 2 tickets to an upcoming Blues game.
Oh, we did we?
We did.
I did not know that.
What?
I found that out last night.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, where do I get my hands on Let's Go Blues Radio tickets to the Blues game?
Is it in the Let's Go Blues Radio box?
It's in the box that's behind the receptionist desk in the lobby.
That's
where
nice.
They all are.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
good times.
Corner booth at the Applebee's in Richmond Heights.
Right. So come, it's there's no cost for the event aside from buying your food and drinks. Just make a reservation, contact them, and starts at 6 p.m. Friday. What day is that? The 7th, right?
The 8th.
8th. Friday, 6 p.m. Cardinals Nation across from Bush Stadium. So it'll be fun. The official beers of episode number 440. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. My handle is Price12. Jeff's is JPonder94, and Bill is Billy Blue Note 33. And Bill, we're going with you, right? First?
Yeah.
I always forget.
Yes, sir.
Every time. Every goddamn time I forget.
Every goddamn time. So I am going with the Founders CBS, the Canadian Breakfast Stout. Those lying bastards said they wouldn't bring it back, but they brought it back. And I bought some already. Awesome beer. One of my favorite beers of all time.
So it's like the McRib.
It is. It is. And I think that's what their next when they put it away for another 4 years. The last time they did it was 2019. So when they bring it back in 2027, they should advertise it like the McRib.
They should say it's the McRib of beer.
They should. It's amazing. It's their Canadian breakfast stout, which is the Kentucky breakfast stout, but with maple. There's a maple flavor to it. So very good.
The McRib of beer. I like that. That needs to be on their can.
Beautiful.
The McRib of beer. You know why they do that with McRib? They bring it back like what 2 or 3 times a year.
I think it's one time a year now, right?
Is it once?
Yeah.
They sell more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
If they had it on the menu all the time, they wouldn't sell near as many.
It's the same why pumpkin spice isn't, because people always say, I love pumpkin spice, it should be year round. You won't be buying it in July.
Well, some people would, but just not the mass public. It's a thing that they have to kind of play around with demand. Peak the demand by shorting the supply.
Yep.
And also, I mean, they use pumpkins. It's not like flavoring. They actually use pumpkins for the brewing process. So it's like that's in season too.
Now you can make that work still.
Yeah.
Like you can still make it work. It's just
I guess so, but it's probably not as readily available.
Probably not. But yeah, that's part of the reason they stock up for fall, because they know that all the basic bitches like me will go out and get all their pumpkin spice stuff because we love it and we need it just for that short period of time.
Yeah, it's like stouts and porters though too. Is that I imagine they sell more of them, during the fall and winter months when heavier beers are just more desirable. It's colder outside for whatever reason that works, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, well, my beer is a usual favorite of mine at the Christmas season, Shiner Holiday Cheer, Texas Brewery Shiner. It's ale brewed with peaches and pecans. And I got to tell you guys, I think my taste buds have changed. I used to love this beer. And hey, anyone who hasn't tried it, go out and try it. I used to love it. I got it 10 years ago when I was living in Texas at this time of year. And I fell in love with it. Got it every year. Maybe I just got a bad batch, but this is my second one that I've had of the 6-pack I got, and I'm like, oh, this is a little much. I don't think I can do this.
Has it always been peaches and pecans?
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe
Peaches
not.
doesn't seem like a Christmas thing.
No.
Go get the Boulevard Nutcracker if you want a good Christmas beer.
Those are my go-tos. Are the Shiner Holiday Cheer and the Boulevard Nutcracker. So I'm really nervous because I haven't gotten the Nutcracker yet, and I'm like, oh, I hope I don't hate that too.
Yeah, no, it is good as ever. I've already gone through a 6-pack of that. So
good. All right. Well, I'll be getting that on Friday. So let's hope no issues. But again, I will say I've loved this Shiner beer for a long time. So I don't want to shit on the people at Shiner, but not my beer this season.
It's not the McRib of beers.
No, it is not.
The first time I had the Shiner holiday beer, I liked it. The second time I got it, the next year, didn't like it.
Maybe that's me.
So that's weird.
10 years.
Yeah, it took me like 2, and I had it the first year. I'm like, oh, this is really good, and I got to go the next year. I'm like, this does not taste the same as it did before.
It's just it's like too sweet. It's like if you were to mix mix like a Pilsner and like a seltzer. It's too sweet. There's something weird about it.
You know, all the newly turned 21 skinny girls are drinking it.
Yeah, right.
Right.
God knows I'm not a skinny girl.
Not the last time you checked, anyway.
Mm-mm.
Mine is so last week I had the Snickers 4 hands candy bar stout, right?
Damn it.
So
that's what I meant to look for tonight.
This week I have the Charleston Chew 4 hands.
Oh, that's a nice milk stout. I like that art.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. So it's marshmallow and chocolate milk stout. So
is it good?
And they call it it's good. Of the 3 in the variety pack, which is the Charleston Chew, the Snickers, and the Almond Joy, I said last week I sampled the Almond Joy and the Charleston Chew. I'm sorry, Almond Joy and Charleston Chew at 4 hands, and I thought I was going to like Charleston Chew more, but I like the Almond Joy more. And then the Snickers last week was really good. So actually, I thought I was going to like Charleston Chew the most out of all 3. It's my least favorite, but it's good. But it was not what I thought it was going to be.
So. Are they only selling it at the brewery? Because I was in Randall's tonight, and I did peruse the 4-hand section. Did not see that, but I didn't look super hard.
I thought they said they were going to ship it to Kansas City. So I'm going to imagine it's. And I'm pretty sure they were going to do it with this, and they weren't talking about the Voltron, the Volume 2 Voltron.
Well, I was surprised to see the Volume 2 Voltron in stores in Illinois, because Volume 1 was not available in Illinois.
I have Volume 2. I'm saving it for the show.
I still have a 4-pack of Volume 1 and 6 of Volume 2 at this point.
Yeah, I have 6 of Volume 2 as well. We should have split one.
Yeah.
I've been smarter. All right. Let's see. Jimmy Snuggerud was invited to the 2024 U.S. World Junior Camp, one of 29 players invited to the last of the evaluation camps. Camp will be held December 14th through the 16th at the USA Hockey Arena in Plymouth, Michigan, and will set the 25-player roster for the World Junior Championships, which will be held in Gothenburg, Sweden, from December 26th through January 5th. Snuggerud was second for the U.S. at the 2023 World Junior Championships with 13 points, 5 goals, 8 assists in 7 games. So
it would be a shock if he's not on there.
Oh, he'll be on there for sure.
He's got to be a shoe-in.
Well, and he had such a kind of a coming out tournament last year. I mean, people already knew who he was, but he looked dynamic and one of the best players in the tournament last year. So it'll be interesting to see. This is his last year of eligibility for it, correct? So I think it'll be fun to see how he goes out. Does he go out on top? And what kind of praise does he get after this tournament?
For those of you who haven't watched the World Junior Championships, happens over, just after Christmas break, for a lot of people who are still on it.
Boxing Day to those Canadians.
Boxing Day. It's a blast. It's so much fun to watch. Seek it out, wherever it's being televised.
Usually on HL Network.
Yep.
Yeah, but that sucks because I don't get that. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, I know the Canadian markets carry a lot of it too. So Ken Morris should be good.
Yeah. Well, seek out a stream somewhere. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Right.
Yeah.
To if you don't get an HL Network, because it's a fantastic tournament to watch.
Yep. Yeah, it's fast too. It's so quick to see these kids out there flying. It's reminiscent of like a last preseason game of the year because you got a bunch of kids trying to make the team. It's just it's so quick. It's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, or just do a free trial of Fubo. They have NHL.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a good way to do it.
I think I did a free trial a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you did.
Again.
Yeah, I think it was the year that they canceled halfway through.
Yeah, I'll have to.
The tournament, that is.
Ken Morris says
Ken
ESN carries it in Canada.
Yeah, okay. And that's usually the feed, at least the Canadian games that the U.S. gets, because it's always Gordon Miller, and the sometimes gets over the top on the Canadian rah-rah stuff.
I think that's a huge miss by TNT and ESPN to not pick that up. Like, just give it 1 year and say, hey, we'll carry it for 1 year. Let's see how it does. You promote that enough, I think you're going to get plenty of people. Because like me, I'm off the week between Christmas and New Year's. That's all I'm going to be doing is watching this. And I think it's going to be the same for a lot of people who have that week off. Because it's a lot of the...
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
God, that was Cyndi Lauper. That's not her real voice, is it?
What's that?
That can't be her real voice, can it?
Have you heard Cyndi Lauper before?
I've heard her sing. I don't know if I've ever actually heard her interview.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen her hawking whatever the autoimmune drugs these days?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, she's I forget which one it is, but she's a pimp for the drug companies now.
Oh, so she's Mrs. Pfizer.
Yes.
Is Captain Lou Albano still around? Is he still alive?
Oh, I think he died like the late 80s.
I haven't heard that name in 20 years.
That's one of those questions where I was like, yeah, he's still alive. Because I have no idea. I would guess he's passed away. But
Captain Lou.
Yeah, he was in the Girls Just Want to Have Fun video. He was her father. Also, had a big part in WWF for a little while.
Yeah, he passed away in 2009, actually.
Wow.
Okay. He missed the Blues Cup run by 10 years. I always think about that when someone passes away, like before 2019. I'm like, oh, they didn't know the Blues won the Stanley Cup.
Yep. Hey, the Cubs never won the World Series in his eyes either.
Yay!
It's true.
Yeah, there's a positive.
All right, so we are due for a break. On the other side of this break, we're going to talk about the Blues games against the Buffalo Sabres, the Arizona Coyotes, and the Vegas Golden Knights. You are listening to Kurt, Bill, and Jeff on Let's Go Blues Radio.
We'll return after these messages.
We've all tried a diet or workout fad at one time or another, but it always ends the same, right? We either lose the weight and then get back to our routine, but then put the weight right back on, or it just simply never takes hold. It's time to move into a habit-based program that focuses on organization and simplicity. Rock and That Ideal Life's Lean 30 lays it all out for you with the correct food to eat, how to meal prep, and even sprinkles in plenty of healthy recipes. With Lean 30, you'll get the full ID Life arsenal, including energy for that needed kick, a tasty Nourish shake for your needed fiber intake, Slim Plus Plus, to help control your cravings and provide a metabolic boost, Lean Capsules help bust those sugar cravings, and IED Nutrition gives you the added punch you need that takes the guesswork out of what supplements to take. Join the many who are seeing success and make this your last first day on a new program. Visit rockandthatidealife.com to get started, and remember to email Dustin at rockandthatidealife@gmail.com for an extra 10% off exclusively for Let's Go Blues radio listeners. Start your transformation to the confident, vibrant person you've always wanted to be with rockandthatidealife.com.
St. Louis hockey fans know how it takes a reliable captain and a team of hard workers to achieve major goals. As a police officer and a hockey player, realtor Mike Burgoyne would wear the C in any situation. As a leader in the home buying or selling process, Mike has surrounded himself with a team of trustworthy inspectors, lenders, and escrow officers that work together more cohesively than Hall & Oates. And as a member of many teams in his life, Mike knows the service our first responders, veterans, nurses, teachers, and yes, even you Let's Go Blues radio listeners provide the community, so he offers special rates to those individuals. Find the value in Mike's leadership and teamwork today by emailing him at mike@strikewithmike.com or calling 314-753-4060. He'll work closely with you and only show you the homes that match your goals. That email again is mike@strikewithmike.com or call him at 314-753-4060 and succeed with your new teammate today.
Buddy, where's the spatula?
Okay, kids, let's go.
There's just one place to go for all your spatula needs.
Spatula City! Spatula City!
A giant warehouse of spatulas for every occasion. Thousands to choose from in every shape, size, and color. And because we eliminate the middleman, we can sell all our spatulas factory direct to you. Where do you go when you want to buy name brand spatulas at a fraction of retail cost?
Spatula City! Spatula City!
And this weekend only, take advantage of our special liquidation sale. Buy 9 spatulas, get the 10th one for just 1 penny. Don't forget, they make great Christmas presents.
And what better way to say I love you than with the gift of a spatula?
Spatula City! Spatula City!
Hello, this is Cy Greenbloom, president of Spatula City. I like their spatulas so much, I bought the company.
Spatula City, 7 locations. We're in the yellow pages under spatulas.
My, where did you get that lovely spatula?
Spatula City, we sell spatulas, and that's all.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
I'll take the box.
I was going to say, I'm in the mood for a Twinkie Wiener sandwich right about now.
What better way to say I love you than with the gift of a spatula?
Oh, man. I love how the sign, it says open till midnight. Because, you know, sometimes you need those spatulas at 11:30. For those of you who don't know what that's from,
shame
Weird
on
Al's, you. Weird Al's blockbuster hit, UHF. Check it out. It holds up. It's still funny.
Do you know if you didn't even know what UHF is nowadays?
Right.
Yeah. I still quote that every time I want to yell at someone, call them dumb. I'm like, you so stupid.
You know, and if you don't get your loved one a spatula for Christmas, shame on you.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason that UHF didn't do well in the theaters was because it came out about the same time as Batman. And Batman steamrolled it. Yep. Bad timing.
That sucks.
Yeah, but it's a cult classic, and we love it.
It really is.
So,
it really is.
Yeah, not too long ago, I don't know if you've ever been to the Gulf Shores restaurant in Edwardsville. They have red snapper on the menu. And it is damn delicious.
It's very tasty.
It's very tasty.
That's awesome.
So if Gulf Shores wants to sponsor Let's Go Blues Radio, we've got some ad choices in mind already.
Ken Morris asks, is that a real company?
No. Check out UHF.
No.
Literally how it sounds.
UHF.
Strongly recommend that movie.
Yeah, the movie UHF.
Yeah.
It's
Michael
it's
Richards before Kramer.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
And if you watch this movie and if you rewatch Seinfeld, you'll see bits of Stanley Spadowski, his character in UHF in Kramer.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Every once in a while. It's so funny. Woo, that was good stuff.
Nothing. You get nothing.
Stupid.
What time is it? Ow, 7:30. Could go all night doing this.
We're gonna scrap the rest of this. At least let's cut the Coyotes game out and just do UHF riffs.
Right.
Whoa, Joe Miller, you're a lucky little boy. You found the marble in the oatmeal. What's that mean? You get to drink from
fire hose.
the fire hose.
Badgers?
Oh.
Badgers?
It stinks, isn't he great? Oh my god. There's that movie. Yeah, John, nothing. You get nothing. Yeah. And it does hold up. I mean, it
does.
You
It's
watch
very
it and
silly.
you watch it's super silly. I mean, it's Weird Al, right?
Right.
But if you're familiar with Weird Al's work, the movie is his work.
Did you see the Weird Al with Daniel Radcliffe? The mockumentary?
The new one? Yeah,
Oh,
on
so
the Roku
funny.
movie. Yeah,
so damn.
that was
funny.
so good.
Yeah, I've yet to finish that movie. I have some trauma from that movie actually, because that is when Amron ruined my house. So I was in the middle of watching that when our power completely the pole feeding, one of the 3 poles feeding our house just went out and fried a bunch of shit.
Well, come over to my house and watch it. I promise that won't happen.
But there will be poles involved, so
There will be. Yes, look out. All right, let's get some Blues hockey here.
Yeah, real quick. Amy sent me a text. If you give me a spatula for Christmas, you're gonna get smacked in the face with it.
Oh, I know what I'm getting you guys for Christmas. It's funny because when that commercial started, I was like, "Oh fuck, I know what this is," and then it took about 5 seconds, and I'm like, "Oh, beautiful."
Yeah, so we would like to welcome Spatula City as a new sponsor for Let's Go Blues Radio. Welcome aboard, Cy Greenbloom and company. The Blues beats in a very entertaining game as far as I was concerned. The Buffalo Sabres 6-4 at Enterprise Center a few games ago. So this, a back and forth game, 3-0 lead for the Blues midway through the first, and then Buffalo came storming back, tied at 3, and then the Blues went back up again 6-3, and they got a late goal. Buffalo did 6-4, and fun game, I thought. And Money Puck actually thought that Buffalo deserved to win this game, which we'll talk about. Money Puck's winometer tonight. It gets it wrong each time.
Yeah.
When we talk about the deserved to winometer, it usually gets the game wrong, doesn't it?
It really does. It's true.
Rarely
That Predators Blues game, that one blows my mind because I thought Predators absolutely deserved to win that game, and you said last week every time it's run, it has the Blues winning the game.
It just seems that way.
Yeah,
it seems that or when the Blues win, it has the other team. They deserve to win. And then you look at the, where the shots came from on the ice. You're like, oh, okay, they had a lot of chances in close. But then again, it's like, how difficult were those chances in tight? Just because a scoring chance comes from at the top of the slot doesn't mean the shooter partially fanned on it and went right into the goalie's chest,
right?
Or or partially fanned on it and just dribbled into his pads. That's I don't know how it. Just looking at the shot map, that doesn't tell you a whole lot aside from where the shots came from. So
right,
but
yeah, I thought. So Bill, I want to ask you about this game because obviously Buffalo put on a lot of shots. And again, you look at the shot map, you can see Buffalo They had some in tight chances. They had some good chances.
46 shots. 46 shots.
46 shots on goal. And Bennington stopped 42 of them. I think he had a good game. Don't get me wrong. But I want to say, I think he was a little leaky. Like the puck was kind of squirting through him a little bit. I'm not saying he played bad. I just think he wasn't as tight. We'll talk about the Vegas game. He was super tight in that Vegas game where nothing was getting through him. But this game, I felt like the puck was kind of dropping on him a little bit, kind of going through his arm, between his arm and his chest. That kind of stuff was happening a little bit more in this game to him than we usually see.
Yeah, I think that it was kind of the end of the pendulum swing, right? It got to the point, after the West Coast road trip, just not good for either Blues goalie really. And I think that we saw some bad play from Bennington. Really since that road trip, that the disastrous Kings game, and then that crazy game in Arizona. Not the game we're going to talk about, but I felt like he was, he needed to get some things out of his game, worked out, and luckily the offense was there for him. I mean, 46 shots, that is the season high. The Blues don't give up 46 shots. But Buffalo, they put it on. He made enough saves, and Jake Neighbors came to the rescue. So
yeah, I mean, that's really at the end of the day. Like, I know we've said this on the show before. You just hope your goalie makes more saves. Well, lets in less goals than the other goalie. And at the end of the day, Bennington did that. Blues gave him a nice 3-0 lead and gave him a little confidence, I'm sure, there. But yeah, like I said, I just felt like some of the stuff, I was like, that's not your typical Bennington. But you're right. I think coming off that road trip, there was some bad habits that got formed by the goaltenders and even the defense. But I think we saw things tightened up a little bit, even with the Arizona game. But yeah, this one, again, like you said, 46 shots.
Right.
And, your goalie gives up 4 goals. It's hard to really blame the goalie for anything, because that's a lot of work for any netminder.
Right. And I haven't studied a lot of the shot charts, but a lot of high danger areas on this chart here. Everything seems, for the most part, down below the hash marks, and the not all the goals. A couple of the goals look like they came from right on the dots, but yeah, it's definitely not as his strongest performance, but still, 42 of 46.
I thought the one in particular that I didn't like of his was the shot that was up high, that he fought off and punched back out, and then they got the rebound and shot and went under his arm and kind of trickled in. That one sticks out to me as one that's like, control the rebound, didn't do, and then he let that leaker under his arm. So that one sticks out to me as one that I didn't like.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I didn't have too much of a problem. He did face a lot of shots, and we only had 20 shots, so we were outshot by 26, which is insane. And Buffalo was pretty consistent in their shots on net. It wasn't like they had 22 in one period. It was 15, 16, and 15. So it was just a constant barrage, steady stream, all night long. We had 8, 6, and 6 for shots.
Yeah, I was surprised the Blues were able to put up 6 goals in that game.
Well, for a while it was like 4 goals on 8 or 9 shots.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And they just kept coming. It seemed like they were just capped. Which, hey, again, it's about quality of shots, right, Dom? Not quantity of shots. So they were capitalizing on their chances.
Sure, it can be. I mean, you could have 6 breakaways and score 4 goals in a game and win 4-3 and only have 6 shots.
Yep.
It's like, I mean.
Just ask Team Belarus over Team Sweden in the 2000 Olympics. One of my favorite games of all time. I think Team Belarus, I want to say, had 11 shots on goal, and I think they scored 4. Like, that's all it takes.
Yeah, that was the game that broke Tommy Salo.
Yep. 100%. I have that recorded, and I know I'm not supposed to IAHF, but fuck off. I've got it. So if you guys ever want to come over and watch it, let's watch it.
Did you have expressed written consent?
Not from the Olympic Committee, but from
Team
CBS.
Belarus.
Yeah. So I in this game, only thing I want to add, I thought it was fucking awesome that Jake Neighbors scored a goal while his dad was being interviewed. So this was the end of the dad's trip, right? And you never see that. You know, they'll bring on a parent, they'll bring on a mom, a brother, or something, and you know, half the time it's like that player will be on the ice for 10 seconds of the conversation. This was like Blues were pressing, Neighbors was on the ice, and I thought his dad just kind of said it perfectly too. Like, that's the type of goal he needs to score. That's where he needs to be. And, you know, just being able to like see his dad's reaction when he scored a goal, and a goal like that again, like he said, is a Jake Neighbors goal. I thought an awesome moment, and so much fun to see that live too.
Shen had 2 goals. Neighbors had 2 goals. The Blues power play did go 1 for 2, and the Buffalo's power play was 0 for 3. So the Blues were perfect on the PK and went 50% on the power play. So that's a plus.
Yep.
The Baked Beaver. Have we mentioned that name before? The Baked Beaver.
Nice beaver.
That might be a guy I know. Kyle, if that's you, let me know. Otherwise, that's a new live listener.
He says the defense was collapsing all over. Yeah, they gave up a lot of inside chances. A lot of pucks squirting free to players that, you know, I was like, where's the defense? You know, left all alone in front. But hence with the shot map, if you look at the shot map, there's a tons of chances in front of Bennington.
Yeah, that had been a troubling trend leading up to this game. Going back again to that West Coast trip, of course, the Predators Black Friday disaster. But yeah, the D forgot itself for a while.
Yep.
He says it's him.
Oh, hey, Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
That's another South Park reference in this show. So on the next game, the Coyotes did beat the Blues 4-1 for their 4th victory in a row. Same lineup in net for this game as the previous game, except same lineup except for a net. Hofer was net in this game in place of Bennington, which I wanted to. I've said this before. I said it last week. I don't like Bennington not playing against divisional teams.
I agree.
Hofer, we played Arizona 4 times this season, and Hofer's played them all 4 times, and not one of those games was a back-to-back or anything. I'm like, why aren't you? Why? And it's not like Arizona's like the bottom of the league and they're just god awful, and you're getting Hofer some work against some bad teams. And Arizona's ahead of us in the standings right now. Why is Hofer playing against every game against this team?
My only thought with this game.
I don't care about the Buffalo game where Bennington faced a lot of shots. Don't care.
Oh, and I'm going to say I don't care about this either. But my only thought process that maybe I'm trying to tap into what Berube's thinking is he got 2 games coming up against one of the best teams in the league with Las Vegas. So maybe he's like, let's go ahead and get him. Let's go ahead and get him some time now, so that way Bennington can play both those games against Vegas. But either way, I would still, like you said, play him against the damn division. You've got to win your divisional games. You have to win those, especially when you're battling with a team for playoff positioning. It's early in the season, but this looks like this might be a battle down the stretch for the Blues to dethrone the Coyotes from above them.
Sheldon thinks that Berube's playing the long game, and it's the mind fuck for when we face Arizona in the playoffs. And they haven't seen Bennington.
Yeah, because they don't have
the Blues
and
right. The Blues and the Coyotes are both making the playoffs.
That's right.
Out of the Central.
That's right. And they're going to get to the point where they play each other.
I was going to say that's at least second round.
That's second round. Sheldon's watched a lot of hockey in his 9 years. I think he's got it.
Nashville did beat
Chicago in a
Chicago
shootout.
In a shootout, fucking 3-point game.
Yep.
Oh, did you see O'Reilly's goal?
Mm-mm.
Holy hell. He's done that before. Little lift backhand.
Yeah.
Upper glove. Ooh.
That is
smooth,
beautiful when he does that.
Smooth goal. It was just, oh my God. So Colton Parayko in this game played his 600th NHL game. Only Barrett Jackman, Alex Pietrangelo, Bob Plager, and Barclay Plager, and Al McInnes played more. If he plays every game through mid-January, Parayko will pass McInnes and both Plager brothers in games played this season. So
he will be third at that point and just be behind Jackman and Pietrangelo. You think he gets number one?
Probably.
He's at what, 601 now? So Jackman's at 805. That's 200 more games, which is 2.5 seasons.
He's got. I mean, he's going to be here after this season. He's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more seasons
if he plays out his contract here.
Right. So I mean, yeah, if he plays his contract, he's going to blow it away.
Yeah, and doesn't
close.
get injured for too.
He's going to pass 1,000 games. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 more seasons. Yeah. If he stays healthy and plays his career out here, he'll play 1,000 games.
Man, he will shatter. If he will absolutely shatter Jackman. It'll be hard for any defenseman to get past that.
Yeah, that's a lot of games for one team.
And this time last year, we would have been praying for this not to happen. But he is so night and day different this year than last year. That
it's crazy.
He is, if he can keep this side of his game going, then and not revert to the the kind of mindless blunders that he was that we got accustomed to over the last couple of seasons. That would be a great consistent person to have.
Yep, agreed. But chances are he doesn't play the contract out here. That's a lot. It's a lot of contract left to play, and he's been here a long time already. So
right,
we'll see. I mean, if he does play it out, that's good news for us, for the team, for him.
And he keeps playing the way he's playing.
That's what I'm saying. If they keep him around, probably going to be playing well. At least earning his contract.
He wasn't
anyway.
the past 2 seasons, and they kept him around.
I know, but generally speaking, over the course of his contract, I know.
Right.
I'm with you.
Back
he was not awful.
Back issues or not, if he stays healthy, right? That's another big consideration here. But yeah, I mean, if there's if the Blues go through a tough time in the next 2 years, you'd see him get moved. Right, he's got value in that contract. That contract's very reasonable, especially if the cap goes up by 4 point something like they're talking.
He's got a ton of value right now.
Yep,
with his contract the way it is. I mean, there's a lot of years left, so that's a lot for a team to take on. But still, I mean, 6.5. It's so funny how it goes from year to year with this stuff. Like last year, oh my God, his contract's gonna be an albatross. Now this year, it's like, it's a pretty good deal.
Well, I mean, you got to figure too, like Bill said, the cap going up, you got to figure 2 years from now, 3 years from now, if it's gone up 10, 11 million from where it's at right now, I mean, that is an absolute steal at the age he'll be at.
The Ducks just scored.
Well, that was a pretty goal too.
Pull within one of Colorado with 5:49 to go in the third.
Now I got to
3-2 Colorado now.
Yeah, 2-man advantage. Leo Carlson, that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, they just scored a couple minutes prior to this too.
Yep.
So it was 3-0. Oh, beautiful goal! Oh, it's fantastic. Pass across through traffic, settle, wrist shot, open net. Oh, he almost got it! Wow, that'd been a great save by. Oh my gosh!
They tried that play right before that too, and it didn't work.
It grazed his trapper.
Yep.
He almost got
That's
that.
Georgiev.
Yeah, Georgiev almost he dove across. That would have been
That's Leo
Superman.
Leo Carlson. That kid has got a bright future.
Woo. Blues. Like I said, Blues lost this game 4-1. I don't think the Blues played poorly in this game. They had a bad first period, right? But after the first period, they played a pretty good game. They had they had 3 shots in the first period, then 15 in the second, 14 in the third. Outshot the Coyotes 32-22 on the night. And the deserve to win meter, which we'll bring up again, said that the Blues in 1,000 simulations based on advanced stats win this game 69.5% of the time. So 70% of the time they win this game. 70, that's substantial. So that's interesting, because if you see the score 4-1, you watch the game, you're like, I don't know about that, but they did play a good second and third period.
That's why it's fun to look at the real, watching the game, and then looking at the stats after and saying, okay, what do the advanced stats say? Because, I mean, this game's played again. Maybe it is. Maybe the Blues win 5-1. Who knows?
Yeah, and it's just a thing where, and I'm not blaming the game on Hofer. If you have Bennington in that, who knows what happens? You never know. But again, I don't like it that Hofer is playing games against the division when you've got Bennington, who's not on back-to-back nights playing or anything. So whatever. But the shot map has the Blues. If you look at that, you can see where the shots came from, how many, they had better chances on certain parts of the ice than Arizona did. But watching the game, it didn't really feel as lopsided as the stats would say. So I don't know, take that for what it's worth. Ingram played very, very well.
Yeah,
I thought in this game very well.
Yeah. Ingram is having a great season.
Yeah,
both goalies
at least when he plays the Blues, right?
Yeah,
that was I think Arizona won the goaltending, who gets to call a net decision by a mile. It's because the last game, the crazy 6-5 game that they started Vemelka, and once Ingram got in, it was a completely different game.
Zucker had a goal disallowed in this game. Good call, kicked in. It was funny when Zucker scored because he didn't celebrate at all. He didn't even smile, didn't yell, nothing. He just kicked it in and went and turned to the referee.
Yep, I've been in that.
You could tell it wasn't a goal.
I had that happen once where I swatted a puck probably 2 feet above my head and with my stick and went right in the net. I didn't even put my arms up. I just skated over to the bench, and one of my teammates wraps his arm around. I was like, "Oh, nice goal!" And I was like, "That didn't fucking count." And he goes, "Oh, the referee didn't see it. It counted." And I'm like, "Oh, then yay!"
It was 3-0 at the point of the overturned goal, so it would have been 4-0. It was overturned, so it was still 3-0. And the Blues scored a couple minutes later to make it 3-1. So you're thinking, okay, this is third period, by the way, and it's like, okay, well, we're 3-1 within 2. That's doable, Didn't happen though. The Arizona got the empty net goal. 4-1 was the final, and Arizona is playing very well. So it's not just they're not just giving the Blues fits anymore. It's they as of tonight, Arizona has now won in succession games versus Vegas, Tampa Bay, Colorado, St. Louis, and Washington, which is every Cup winner since 2018 in a row. They've won.
I mean, that's probably, I don't know. That's probably never happened before, right?
I would guess not.
The schedule to line up like that too.
Not 5 in a row.
Not since the league had 6 teams, right?
Right.
Yeah, you beat last Cup winner of the last 5 years. You've only played Montreal.
Yep.
Yeah, but so is Tampa Bay twice, Colorado, St. Louis, and Washington, I guess. So it's and they're not just barely winning these games. They're winning, I think they're winning by 3-1, 4-1, 3-0, 2-1. So they're giving other teams fits, other good teams fits. So that's you don't feel quite as bad about splitting the season series with Arizona 2-2 now.
Yeah, I got.
And we're done now. I guess it was Arizona.
Yeah, we're done with them. Which it's not even fucking Christmas, and we're already done with the division rival. Perfect scheduling, NHL. Love that. And especially a team that you might be battling for in the playoffs.
Right. I still don't accept them as a division rival.
Well, either way, that happened a couple of years ago against Colorado. They were done by New Year's, and I was like, "What the hell?" It's ridiculous.
I don't consider Arizona a division rival either.
I do.
Even though they give us fits, for some reason, I never take them serious. Probably because they never won anything. They've only won one playoff round in their history. Is that right?
2.
I think.
At
2?
least 2.
Yeah.
Because it was in the same year. They went to the Western Final.
That's right. That's right. In the same year. That's it.
Yeah, that might be.
They've only had one playoff season. They've only had one season where they won a playoff round. Their entire history since they moved to Arizona, nothing.
Thanks, Pierre Turgeon. So Matt Harris says, I've been saying it all year. Arizona is a bit of a wagon right now. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not the only one that said this. But for anyone who pays attention to the whole league, I'm looking at you, Toronto media. Arizona, I like what they got going on. They are a team to watch this year. And they've got, I think Bill Armstrong has really put together something interesting. I think I said early in the year or over the summer when it was like, where's Matthew Dumba going to sign? Rumor is he might sign in Arizona. And I was like, why? And then I looked at the roster and I'm like, it makes sense. They're going to be a decent team this year. So I think, and by the way, my favorite comment ever that I've gotten on Twitter, at least this year, was when I said something about Bill Armstrong's really put something together nicely. And some asshole Blues fan responded, God, if you're going to comment about the Blues, at least get his name right. It's Doug Armstrong. And I'm like, I'm talking about Arizona, asshole. No response.
Go back to the lounge, buddy.
Yeah, right.
The Baked Beaver says their uniforms look awful too. Ugly Christmas sweaters. These were their maroon and white.
Yeah, I don't like those ones. Go back to the.
I actually
the Sedona red.
No, I actually like them a lot. I'll politely disagree with both you guys. Compared to the Kachina ones. I hate the Kachina jerseys. The 90s, hate them.
I love them.
I don't like Southwestern style art.
The only reason I love them is because of nostalgia. That's it.
Okay. Well, so okay. Yeah, so like some people. So
I will.
The people that like.
I'm just openly admitting that I know it's not a good-looking jersey, but I like it because it reminds me of my childhood.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just talking strictly from design. I thought the Howling Coyote jerseys was their best one. I like that color. The off-white stripes on them. They're slick. The maroon color. Liked them.
Yeah, I like the era that they used Warren Zevon. For the goal song, the Werewolves of London. Ow.
Werewolves of London.
Which era was that for the jersey?
Late 90s.
Right?
That was Kachina. That was the original Kachina.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Brandon Saad had a goal, the Blues lone goal in this game. So he had 2 goals in his last 2 games. Face-offs were 60% to 40% for Arizona. Blues were 0 for on the power play, and Arizona's 1 for 2. So a bit of a reversal there with the special teams in this game compared to the last. But then comes the game against Vegas, which I think we all would prefer to talk about. Same lineup again.
And I don't want to just talk about this game because the Blues won, or even that it was a good game for a Blues fan or a Golden Knights fan to watch. I thought this was just a hell of a hockey game. I thought the whole game, front to back, was entertaining as hell.
I was watching it. Anaheim had a good shot there with less than a minute to go to tie.
Yeah,
did not.
That it was such a high paced game and a great, for a 2-1 game, that you'd think boring, but man, both goalies were so good last night.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me pull up the thing here. So first off, fuck Vegas.
Yes, we can all agree on that.
Let's get that out there. Vegas had the better chances in terms of quality chances in this game. Bennington was amazing. Probably his best game of the season. Expected goals for.
I'll tell you what Alex Ferrario said on. I know what he said. Let's talk about that. Yeah, I think he's officially on the Last Minute Blues podcast now. With Donnie friend of the show, Donnie Fandango, and Jamie Rivers, non-friend of the show. Enemy of the show, Jamie Rivers.
Keyboard warrior of the show.
So I guess Ferrario said he thinks that was Jordan Bennington's best game as a Blue ever. I think we all can disagree. Wow. He did even call out. He did say, and again, I didn't listen to it. I just heard the soundbite. That he did say, he knows that 2019 Stanley Cup Final Game 7. Clearly, that's the one everyone's going to point to. But he thinks overall the game he played last night was better. I'm going to disagree. No. I will say that I understand his point in terms of athleticism. I thought Bennington was just as athletic as he was in Game 7 against the Boston Bruins. But I think the stakes being so much higher, that instantly pushes. And the saves, I mean, just some of the saves he made in that game, especially early in the first period, unbelievable. I mean, you can't ask any other kid to ever do something like that. I say kid, he was, 25? But still, I mean, hard for me to agree with you, Ferrario. I get the sentiment, but I think at the end of the day, he's never going to play. Unfortunately, Jordan Bennington has already peaked in terms of greatest game ever, because I don't think he'll ever be able to match what he did in that game.
I actually, when I watched that game, and went back and rewatched the highlights, there were a lot of echoes of Game 7 against Boston in that game, just between the players and the coaches involved, and the one save that Bennington made, pushing off. That reminded me of the what was the guy? Nordstrom. Yeah. Okay. The Joachim Nordstrom push to the right to kick out the pad, just absolutely phenomenal. Echo of that game. And then, not to get spoilers, but Pietrangelo and company had a Brad Marchand moment at the end of the game.
They did. They forgot all about. Yeah,
that was fantastic.
You know what? Ferrario's comment just it reeks of social media, noob, fan who's only been a fan of the team for 5 or 6 years and doesn't really, I don't know, is recency bias disease or something?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's an amazing game. It's gotta be his best game ever, without actually thinking about what he's talking about. Right. Come on.
Emotional fan reaction, right? Which is what leads to terrible social media posts.
Yes. And I think now, granted, this was a great game by Bennington, probably his best game of the season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
for sure.
I mean, in his first season here, not just the Game 7 against Boston, he had some shutouts that were fantastic during the season. Jesus Christ. I mean, the Game 7 against Dallas,
shutout against the Sharks in the Western Final.
Shutout against the Sharks. But there was a number of shutouts during the season he had.
Yeah.
And a couple of them were amazing.
I remember
was 1-0, right? Was it 1-0?
Was it Winnipeg Game 3? No, Game 2, I think. It was in Winnipeg. I remember him having a phenomenal game. So, yeah, for me, I mean, you could just point at that playoff run, and you already have probably at least 2 or 3 that I put above this game last night. But not to take away from how awesome he was last night.
No. Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. I don't know if they're looking for things to talk about to interesting comments or something to okay, let's expand on that. Make a comment and have somebody and people go. But I thought that was a silly thing to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Personally.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, either way,
awesome game by him.
What do you think was his best save? I personally, okay.
I'm gonna left post to right post.
The one on Barbashev from the pass from Jekyll.
Yeah.
That was, to me, athletically and clutchly, which is not a word. I thought that easily wins as best save of the game. But I loved his save 5 minutes into the first period when Paul Cotter had that partial break, and he just effortlessly just
Oh,
kind of
poke
stuck
check?
his glove there. No, he stuck the glove out.
Right.
And just,
Yeah.
I'm just going to catch your shot. Like, and then just kind of stood up and skated to the corner. Like,
Who was it that had who had the chance in front, went to the backhand and
think it was
could have held
Eichel.
onto the puck longer? That wasn't Eichel. I don't
No.
think. Maybe it was. But it could have held onto it. I don't think it was. Could have held onto it longer and probably scored. But he like made a move and shot, and Bennington just reached out and gloved it.
Yeah,
It
I think that was the counter play.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
amazing.
Yeah, that was where he was in behind the defense. Yeah.
That was it. Yep. Because there was the Blues kind of like the overtime goal. The Blues were started to head north, and they didn't have the puck.
Yep.
And he
Right.
was all by himself,
Overskated.
and just just that kind of swagger. Again, I hate to always have to compare him to Jake Allen, but I feel like we have to because that's just how it is. That's not the type of play you would ever see from Jake Allen. Jake Allen might make that save, but he's not just gonna, I'm just gonna, glove it, and he's gonna be down, he's gonna cover. Just the way he makes that save, it's just like, get the fuck out of here. I got this. Like, that's a nothing shot. I just love it.
Yep. Yeah. I do think if the puck would have been held onto a little bit longer, for like a half second, and just coasted a little more, although he did have defensive pressure bearing down on him from the right side. So maybe he felt he had to rush it. But either way, I thought that was a great save.
Right. It's the humble brag of saves.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You ever made a save like that, Bill?
It's been way too long since I can remember
okay.
any of my saves at this point.
What do you feel is your greatest save ever?
Greatest save ever.
You've never thought about this?
No,
Greatest save ever?
I have.
That's one of my favorite questions that I asked Amanda Levier last time I had her. No, 2 times ago I had her on. I said, what is I asked, actually, no, I'm sorry, it's the opposite. I asked her, what is your worst goal you've ever given up? And her response was, I have to pick just one.
Yeah, so my greatest save ever, probably a penalty shot save. When it had to be an exhibition game. My coach Dave Freeman, who is still coaching to this day, God love him. He was coaching Eureka High School and our team in Cahokia, and put us together in an exhibition game. And I don't know if we just did shootouts for the hell of it, or their best player got a penalty shot at the end, but I baited him to glove side. He went for it, and I got it.
Nice.
Was their best player Joe Malone?
No.
That is a joke about a 1920s NHL player.
Yeah, Joe Malone he played. Was he a Blackhawk?
I want to say a Canadian, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
He's a singer. He's got tattoos over his face.
That's it.
That's
it.
Post. That's post.
Yeah, I'm right.
Because he always hits the posts.
Quebec Bulldogs, Montreal Canadiens, and Hamilton Tigers.
That's right. I need to go back and re-enjoy the Down Goes Brown history of the NHL.
Joe Malone, I know you thought about first true NHL All-Star.
I know you've thought about this, Jeff. I know you're a defenseman. What's your greatest goal ever? Defensemen tend to think about these things more often. And Bill played defense for a good chunk of games with when I was playing with him. So
yeah, no roller hockey. I played mostly defense.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not it. All right, my greatest goal ever. I still have the puck. That's what I was looking for. It's somewhere over here somewhere. It was a shootout to win a tournament. And so it was 0-0. I was the 5th shooter. And I came in and I did what everybody associates me with that plays with me now. I did my leg kick. So I came in and I acted like I was going to shoot. I kicked my leg and the goalie bit. And so then I pulled it to the backhand. If anyone ever seen Pavel Dimitra's patented breakaway, that is what I've always tried to model this move off of. I just added a leg kick to it. And I went to the backhand, wide open net, put it in. Then our goalie made the save at the other end. We ended up winning the tournament. So
very nice.
I always say that is by far my most clutch and my best goal I've ever scored. How about you, Kurt?
So
very nice. Me?
Yeah, before Kurt shares, I have to say I will share my favorite goal that I ever scored of all time.
Yes.
It was at the ballpark. It was at the ballpark. I totally went had a breakaway and shot from 20 feet out against the grain, upper blocker. Best shot I've ever taken in my life. Still remember the feeling to this day. When I need to go to a happy place, that's what I envision.
All right, I gotta add one more, that just because he's a listener of the show. Crappy goalie. I scored on him in the first Ponder Cup. I don't know if you guys are still there or not. Literally, first Ponder Cup. It's only like 3-1 at this point. It's early in the second period. My team's up. I'm playing against him and his team. I take a slap shot, and as I do, the puck just flips. It just kind of, it's on edge, and it's not all the way flipped like a what do you call it in Mighty Ducks 2?
A knuckle puck.
Yeah, it was just kind of like teetering a little. And I took the shot, and dude, it went up in the air, and I was like right at where the blue line is. And it just went straight up in the air, and then it just dipped, and it literally landed right on the goal line and then just rolled in. And I couldn't believe it. Like, I didn't even know it went in. Again, it was one of those moments where I just kind of like go to skate back because I was like, I don't know where the puck went. I need to play defense. Everybody's like, oh, my God, Ponder, how the hell did you do that? And I'm like, what? And I even hear Jason, crappy goalie, go, motherfucker. I was like, no way. He asked me after the game. He's like, do you think if I told you I could pay you $1,000 and I give you 100 shots, do you think you could do that again? And I said, absolutely not. That was complete luck.
Mine was when I was playing for SIUC, and we had a traveling tournament up at U of I, University of Illinois, and we were playing Purdue. And Carbondale had never beaten Purdue in the school history. I'm not sure how far that went back at the time. Could have been that far.
2 games.
Yeah, maybe like one season. But had two goals in the game. And then the goal that stands out to me is I was picked to go second in the shootout of 3 shooters because I went to overtime and then went to a shootout. And came in, gave him the best deke I could give, fake forehand. It's your typical, fake forehand, go backhand and lift it. But, it was fake forehand, go lift, and it went under the bar. It was just, it was perfect. It was just like, it's how you draw it up, right? And so scored that one. I was so nervous before that attempt. Jesus Christ, I was nervous. Scored, and then our goalie made the save. And our third shooter scored, and we beat him. So
nice.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's nice when you put that goal in, and because like you said, you're so nervous going into the shootout, and it's like, but it sounds like you had the same situation as me, that like you're like, okay, if I don't score, it's still, if my goalie makes the save, then it's fine. But like, you don't know. Yeah, you have no idea. Yeah. You're still like, why? Yeah. I just need to fucking score. Like, it's so nerve wracking.
Yeah, I can't remember if the guy before me scored or not on the other team. Cannot recall. I can't recall if I went first or second in the second round either. I just remember my goal and what happened after.
That's all that matters.
So.
I never got picked to be in a shootout, so except as goalie.
I was gonna say,
yeah. Well, you know what? You would have been in a shootout in that tie game, but you were in goal,
right?
And that one that went like 9 shooters deep in the shootout,
right?
In the playoffs.
And
I was suspended for that game.
Yeah, and that was Walt, the tanning bed guy, scored that goal, right? Wasn't that what we used to call the guy? Walt, the tanning bed guy.
He was very tan.
Yeah,
very creative we were.
Yes, that's such a great nickname.
Yeah, that was one of the few times that I actually enjoyed playing goal in roller hockey.
You should have at least called him Gator.
Never get into it.
Because leathery skin, Gator, handbag, call him something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were more direct.
Yeah, we
I
were.
can tell.
we wanted him to figure it out. If we called him a Gator, everybody just go over his head. We wanted him to know he was being made fun of because of how tan he was. The G-Men. No. Who was that? That was a G-Men? No.
It was that team. It was that team.
Because that was that was Yellow Helmet, what's his name?
Gullich.
Gullich was on that team. He was on G-Men,
Yeah.
was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, because that was he couldn't score on me that game.
Yeah, I know.
He had
he was a snake bit.
Chance after chance after chance and couldn't score.
Okay. Either way. All right. Moving on.
All right.
Nice little pit stop there.
Right. Let's get back to the professionals.
Right. Yeah, right.
We're talking like F League roller hockey stuff. All right. So expected goals for the Vegas Knights in this game were 5.18 by the end of the game. The Blues was 2.75.
They had what, 5 odd man rushes in the first period alone?
They had a lot.
It was nuts. It was like every other play. It was like, holy shit. And I'll say, I think it was the second period. Justin Falk made a horrible turnover.
Oh my God.
He tried to go against the grain with a pass on his backhand. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
At
Just
the
get
blue
it up the
line.
boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up the boards. Off the boards.
Always up the boards. That's what I always tell my
always.
team. Like
DDD up the boards.
Yes, always up the boards.
Mike
please.
Kitchen.
Always, yeah.
No, so what did you guys think of the Krug penalty early in the first? That led it was the breakaway that Barbashev had. I thought that was very.
The on the hands. The
Yeah,
hook.
it was
hook slash thing?
It was a one-handed tap on the glove.
Yeah, it was. Okay, here's the thing, is that if you get your stick on the guy's gloves, that's called a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I hate it too because I don't like that the fact that's a penalty. Just because the stick makes contact with the gloves doesn't make it a hook, doesn't make it a slash.
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
Technically
it's a penalty, but it's very soft.
I know Barbashev ended up, kind of not getting as good of a shot as he probably would have gotten. But to me, like, he still got a decent opportunity off. And like, to me, that matters. It's not like Krug's coming down two-handed baseball swing. It was a one-handed try and just disturb him in any way you can, just happen to get his hand. I hate that call. They're going to call it every time, unfortunately, but I just hate it.
I do. You are correct. Yeah. You're not incorrect in your assumption.
Mm-hmm.
That's ticky tack. So since we're doing deserve to win meters in this game, the Vegas Golden Knights were 78.3% to win this one to the Blues 21.7.
This is not a surprise like some of the others.
No, this one seems okay. You can buy into this one. But in the last 3 games, the deserve to win meter is 0 for 3. And it seems like whenever we bring this up for other games, other shows, it's mostly wrong. It hits sometimes, but it's mostly wrong. So it's almost like something's wrong with this. the analysis here, or call it something else. You know what I mean? And this is pulled from advanced stats and expected goals, stuff like that. But it's like, and from where the shots came on the ice and the shot difficulty, all that stuff, and the Blues still won this game. So this kind of just is one example of how advanced stats never tell the entire story for something ever, and sometimes far from it. So
I agree. We've beaten this dead horse enough,
and we will continue to do so.
Yeah,
we will continue to do so.
But I mean, you're 100% right. Like, again, like I think advanced stats, like you, Kurt and Bill, I think you agree too that advanced stats are great. I love like there'll be some mornings where I'm getting my kid ready for school and he's just kind of sitting there eating breakfast and I'll pull up Money Puck. I'm like, all right, how did the games look last night? And I'll literally, instead of going to NHL.com and looking at the scores tab, I'll literally go into Money Puck and just be like, oh, okay, there's shots from there. And I'll like look at games that occurred. And that's how I will kind of tell myself, like, oh, that's kind of how that game went. Like, for the most part, I think it does a pretty good job of explaining how a game went. But clearly, when you look at stuff like deserved a win-o-meter and high danger chances, which I've bitched about with goaltending, like, you can't judge everything off advanced stats. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of the media and fans are doing nowadays.
Buchnevich took a penalty in this game that led to Vegas tying the game in the third period. Not a good penalty to take. It was a
Okay,
dive.
so you agree?
It was a situation where he didn't have to dive and try and, it wasn't a desperation attempt. It was, but he made it into one, which he didn't have to.
So Rivers on the broadcast, and again, I'm not trying to pick on Jamie Rivers here, but he said basically he felt like he had to take that penalty, something along those lines.
Why?
Because he said it was leading to an odd man rush. It was not. It was a 2-on-2 going the other way. It was Eichel and I believe Barbashev. I could be wrong on that, but maybe Stevenson. But the Blues had 2D back. Like, that would not. Yes, you want to try and break up any kind of play going the other way, but in a play like that, it's a bad pass from Thomas. Buchnevich just needs to stop and then skate back. He's a good defensive player. Get ready for the pass up to Eichel. But instead, he makes that I think an awful decision. What is he thinking there?
Yeah,
like,
I have no idea.
It's not a desperation moment. Again, if Eichel's springing the other way and there's no defenseman back, yeah, trip the shit out of him. But that wasn't a play he had to do that.
No. I was at the time, I think I literally said to the TV, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
So, and we didn't even talk about the Blues goal, but Toropchenko scored the Blues goal in regulation in this game. Who we thought Parayko scored it at first, went off Toropchenko in front after some pressure by the Blues in Vegas' zone. So
another
nice
game,
to see,
and
nice to see Parayko continuing to get offensive chances.
I feel like I'm a fucking broken record this season, but my God, Colton Parayko.
Yeah,
that dude is all over the ice. He's a beast.
It's almost like he's healthy now or something, maybe. Or a new defensive coach we talked about.
Possibly.
So,
yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. I will say that on that shift, I thought Toropchenko, it was the type of game he needs to play all the time. He almost scored right before that. It was actually a sneaky good save by Logan Thompson. Great shot by Toropchenko, just throwing it at the far side. Great save. Great keep by the Blues. Get it back to Parayko and net front presence. Right, Toropchenko gets there, and great deflection between the legs. Oh, tough to pull off.
There was some good lines last night for the Blues. I thought both the scoring line, the first top two lines for the Blues, Shen and Thomas's lines were good. I thought that fourth line looked great too. There was multiple times where it looked like Vegas was getting ready to get out of the zone, and then you'd see Sammy Blade just come flying into the frame, and all of a sudden, Blues got the puck back, or they're coming out the other way, and Sundqvist is intercepting a pass. Like, that fourth line was all over the Vegas defense last night, and it just caused a lot of problems.
Eichel's goal on that ensuing power play was a fantastic shot.
Yeah, it was.
Through traffic, far upper corner, blocker side. It's like, right tucked up in the corner. It's like, how do you stop that?
I hate to give that little freak show credit.
Yeah,
it's like I really don't like that guy.
The second overall pick was deserving, right? It's I knew the second that Buchnevich took that penalty that they were going to score on the ensuing power play. So I turned it off and went to bed. And didn't catch the rest until this morning.
Oh no. Oh, I wasn't happy either, but yeah, I was like, of course it's either Eichel or Stone. It's got to be. Which, hey, can I just say, I've watched some Golden Knights games this year, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But I feel like Mark Stone has fallen off. He does not look like the same player. He was not an impact at all.
Did you see what the dust up between Neighbors and Stone? Did you catch that? They didn't talk about it.
Oh, it was well, he started with Pietrangelo, right?
It was a late hit. It was after Stone hit Neighbors on the boards. I'm not sure how Pietrangelo worked into it, but maybe he did. But Stone hit Neighbors on the boards, and it was after the puck was gone, and Neighbors felt it was late, and he skates over to Stone, and he basically said, what the fuck do you think you're doing, or something like that. He was pissed, and I'm like, this is Neighbors, pretty new to the league, right? Going after Stone,
are you
veteran,
sure that
established
wasn't
cup winner?
Pietrangelo?
Positive. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
Because there was a play where he got a shot on goal.
Positive.
And he went
Pretty
behind the
Way to
net.
be committal.
And Pietrangelo had him tied up, and he rammed him into the board still. He still extended. And then Neighbors got pissed, and they showed him on the broadcast. And Rivers even
and he mouthed.
Rivers even said, folks, don't try to read lips here. Because what he said was, that's fucking bullshit, is what he said to him.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm talking. Okay. Maybe I didn't hear Rivers say that then, but I could have sworn it was Stone. Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it was
either
another
way.
play. Maybe there was one I missed too.
Either way, it's probably the same play because the camera caught him out and something like. But either way, Stone, Pietrangelo, same, no difference. It's like veteran, cup winner, established player, and Neighbors is going after and mouthing off to him, and I didn't realize he had that in him when he first came up and we first saw him a year and a half ago, whatever it was. You're seeing that now. It's like, wow.
I'm loving this kid, man.
I like the fire and the chippiness that he has. Love it.
I want to clean him up and raise him my own. I'm loving this kid.
Let's see. Bennington made 33 saves on 34 shots. 10 were in high danger areas, according to advanced stats. So that means they were all extremely difficult saves.
Right, of course.
Right. So he gets points for that. Basically, make a commentary in the dark here about these 10 high danger shots.
Right.
Yeah. So. So let's see where are we at here. In the overtime winner, which I think was fantastic. And Pietrangelo was out there, which I think I'm safe in like mocking Pietrangelo, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
dude, I
know
Pietrangelo,
I know a lot of Blues fans still love him.
I wouldn't say I love him.
I don't.
He's probably in my top 10 favorite players still. But
not
me.
When
they play against him, I want them to fucking ragdoll him every chance.
Well, that's the first year Kyrou walking him, that's such a lovely memory.
Yeah.
But Kyrou doing something is also a lovely memory.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I think the way he left. I mean, don't get me wrong. During his time here, when I watch replays and cup highlights and all that crap, it's like warm memories. Like I get it, but now like that, those are two different Pietrangelos to me. The Pietrangelo with the Blues and Pietrangelo with the Knights. The Pietrangelo with the Knights, I don't like. He's the guy who left and had some kind of a, left on bad terms, more or less. It was just kind of uncomfortable. I didn't like it. Whatever. So he left. And, when a player leaves your team, and let's be fair, Armstrong offered him a very good contract.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't think it was good enough. And he went somewhere else and got a better contract for him, which is great. Good for him. But as a fan, I don't like you now. So that's just the way it is. When he comes back after his career's over and they honor him or whatever somehow with the Stanley Cup team at some point or whatever, an anniversary of it, love him. But right now he's a Knight and I can't stand him. So
I respect that. I still love
and
the
it's
way.
nothing.
I
It's
still love the way
it's
he
not really personal.
plays.
It's more sports. It's more
Right.
sports.
I get that.
Focused. You know.
Well,
It's not
I
personal.
fell out of love with David Backus. I still sometimes so I just rewatched game. What was that? Game 2 of the 2019 final, and he made some hit and he was talking shit. And I even said out loud, I go, "Fuck you, David Backus." And I'm like, "Ooh, I still have some of that fire toward him," because there was some things he said to the media, like it was clear he was trying to coax the NHL into like suspending some of the Blues players. I don't know if you guys remember that. He was like, "I know if I made that hit, I'd get suspended." Fuck you, Backus. You're not making that hit because you're not fucking playing. So, yeah, I still had some fire toward him. So I totally get that. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't hate Pietrangelo, but I do want to see the Blues kick his ass every time they play him.
So Buchnevich's goal in overtime came from when Thomas received the puck inside the blue line and kind of fumbled it and overskated it a little bit. And apparently all three Knights players thought, this is it. We're leaving the zone.
Yep.
Yeah. And they all started to skate towards the blue line. And Thomas recovered. And Buchnevich just standing down at the bottom of the right circle.
Well, did you see that? Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe there was the lines, his vision's lines were blocked. But he didn't even move. Like, the minute that Thomas bobbled that, you could see all three Golden Knights go, "Oh shit!" And then whoever the other Blue was out there with him, was it Falk? Even he kind of was like, "Oh," and you saw him kind of like change his direction. Buchnevich was like,
Krug was Krug.
Yeah, Buchnevich was like, "I'm just gonna fucking stand here." Like, that's Robert Thomas. He's gonna get me the puck.
Well, if you watch the replay, Thomas like fumbles the puck and overskates it, but he never really was in. Like, it wasn't obvious that he was going to lose the puck.
Right.
It was he was still closest to the puck. I'm not sure what any of the Vegas players were thinking, especially Pietrangelo, who's a defenseman there.
Pietrangelo was already the highest one in the zone. So when I went back to watch it,
you're right. He is.
Please let it be Pietrangelo that had the Marchand moment and went too early. But it was. Who were the other two guys?
Who was that? It was Eichel and
Barbashev, I thought.
Was it 20? Was it Barbashev?
No, it was
Marchessault, I think, right?
Maybe 81 is Marchessault.
No. I think it was 81.
Okay.
I think I was 21, or I'm trying to look at that. I see the. Yeah, it's 81, I believe.
Okay, so yeah,
it's hard to see.
Yeah, terrible read. Like you said, he fumbled it, but he didn't lose possession, and
that's why I love what Bucci did. I mean, it was just like, okay, like, I'm just gonna stay. Like, you guys go ahead and go. I'm gonna hang out right here. Like, it was like he knew. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. Like, these guys are gonna exit the zone. I'm gonna stay right fucking here and wait till Thomas gives me the puck, and I'm gonna have a clear path to the net. Like, and a smart move by Thomas, too, to not, I mean, how many players do we see? And let's be honest, Thomas, his rookie year, might have done that, where, a lot of guys will kind of be like, "Oh, shit," and then they'll just try to, like, throw it on net or, like, throw it to the corner. No, he did not. He was calm, cool, and relaxed. Like, I still got this shit. Yeah, I fumbled a little, but I'm good.
Yeah. And for as good as Logan Thompson was during this game, I didn't think it was the strongest shot by Buchnevich.
No. Yeah.
It was a bit of a squeaker.
Yep.
Well, he came off the post a little bit too. He didn't have it sealed or anything. So
yeah. But when your team just completely gives up on you.
True. Right? Yeah. I mean, he might be thinking Buchnevich is going to cut in front. Who knows what he's going to try and do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Thomas with that assist has a point a game, 24 points in 24 games this season. So.
Again, man, I know I said this last week or the week before, but taking Kyrou off his line, he has become, and again, I'm not saying anything negative about Kyrou. It's that for whatever reason, Thomas has found another level, and he has looked so good the last month. Like, it's been crazy how good he's been.
Right. And, and I guess we should, give Kyrou his credit. The Buffalo game, he was really good.
Yeah, he was.
Right. And that undress 3 Sabres defensemen and then put the puck back across the green for what I think was the eventual game winner. He was excellent in that game, but yeah, still need to see a lot more from him.
Need more goals at this point. Guys just got to grip it and rip it. That's what we got to see more from him.
So, okay, so I posted this on Twitter under the show's account. Got a decent response. It's a poll. Jordan Kyrou has 4 goals in 23 games so far this season. How many games will he? And this was actually before last night's game, so it's 24 games now. How many goals will he finish with? And the over/under is so 30 or more. The 2 choices: 30 or more, or under 30.
Under 30.
I'm gonna say he's gonna finish at 25.
Okay, yeah, it's overwhelming. 82.7%. Under 30, and 17.3% is 30 or more. I brought that up because on 101 ESPN they were talking about Kyrou, and it was, I think it was BK, Ferrario 2, and some other guy. I forgot the nasally guy. They were all in agreement that Kyrou, he'll get his 30 goals. He'll come around. He'll go on a streak. He'll get hot. And I was like, you know what? This is actually a lot tougher of a decision for me than I would, just by looking at the stats, 4 goals in 24 games. Okay, he's not going to get to 30, or it's unlikely. But I'm thinking he's by far leading the team in shots. He's getting a ton of chances. He's getting a ton of touches. He's playing pretty well, in the neutral zone and defensive zone. He's got some weird things going on in the offensive zone, but he's still getting a ton of chances, a ton of shots. I'm thinking if they do start to go in, I can. It's hot. Sports are funny, right? They can start going in buckets. He could score 10 goals in the next 12 games or something.
Can you imagine where this team would be if he had 13 goals right now? Like, they probably got at least 2 or 3 more wins on the season.
A few more wins, probably. Yeah, sure. You think? I think at some point this season, he's going to get hot and he's going to come around. I just don't know at what point that's going to be. I think when he comes around, it might stay for a while. But if it comes next week, great. If it doesn't come in for 2 months, well, then you got a problem.
I don't have
with his overall point total.
I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think last year that's kind of what happened, right? Didn't he? He started off real slow, and then all of a sudden, it was earlier. It was like late November. He all of a sudden was putting the puck in the net, and it just kind of kept coming until they had their real bad break in like January, February. So that could easily happen.
I guess that's just funny. If you're following the conversation in the chat, the Baked Beaver has, rightfully so, critical of Kyrou's offensive stuff, saying he needs to do something. How are we spending money on him if he's not producing? He can't keep up with Thomas anymore. They used to be producing a pair. And then the answer to this question is Psy 31. I love it.
I actually agree with Ken. Ken here. Ken Morris says, with the shots on goal Kyrou is getting, it is only a matter of time. And I kind of agree. Like you said that, Kirk, too, that again, he's getting chances. He's what game was that? Was that Winnipeg, and he had the 2 breakaways in one fucking period, and like he didn't score in either of them, and it's like they were both good chances, but Hellebuck just came up huge. And I'm not saying that every single chance he's had is because the goalie's coming up big. There's been a couple he's definitely fumbled, but at the same time, I think he's getting there. I think he's gonna be fine. Trust me, I'm a guy who has had my issues with Kyrou in the past. I still do, but I said it a couple weeks ago. I don't hate his game this year. I feel like he's trying to become a complete player. He just needs to put it all together now, and I'm hoping we're on the brink of that.
81 shots he has in 24 games. He's by far ahead of second is Torrey Krug with 54. Just 27 more shots. And 28 more than Bushnevich.
I'm surprised Krug has so many shots on goal because, God, he can't hit the goal half the time.
No, and who has the most? This is a good question. Who has the most shots on net for the Blues without scoring a goal?
Justin Falk.
You're right. 45.
Wow.
He hasn't scored. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, he was to start last season. He was the money guy on defense, and yeah, for whatever reason, he hasn't been able to pot anything. And even the Vegas announcers were calling that out last night.
Yeah,
it's weird.
So special teams for the Blues right now. So the power play has sucked for the vast majority of the season. The penalty kill, like really good on the road, one of the worst in the league at home. That's so weird. But so since November 24th, which is last, I think, 6 games, the Blues power play is ranked 19th at 18.8%, which that's not too bad, especially considering where they've been most of the season. And since 11/24, also the Blues PK is ranked 17th at 81.3%. So we talked about before about the number when you add special teams together, you want it to be 110 to feel really good about your special teams. They're at 100.1 over the last 6 games. So hopefully things are trending in the right direction for special teams. Not great, but it's better than it was, I guess. The Blues PK is ranked 4th in the NHL on the road overall this season at 88.2, but it's dead last at home at 66.7. But again, over the last 6 games since 11/24, they're ranked 14th overall at home.
Yeah, every time at home they take a penalty, I'm like, well, here comes a goal.
It's so weird to be so good on the road at the PK and then so good and so bad at home. That makes 0 sense.
Mind-boggling.
None. Next up for the Blues, we got Wednesday versus Las Vegas again, 8 p.m. At home. I love back-to-back games against good teams.
Yes.
I love it.
And I also love back-to-back games with division rivals. Why have we not seen that this year?
Because we only play division rivals 3 or 4 times a year, and they have over half the. We used to play. Remember the good old days over Christmas? We played the Hawks at home and at home.
Oh yeah,
It was like like the 26th and 27th or 8th, whatever it was.
Yep.
Oh my God. Oh, I was so. That was. I mean,
really
school as kids.
That really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, this was the 90s and 2000, early 2000s.
Well, I mean, they did it in the 2000s because I was a kid in high school when they were doing that.
It was actually, it went as far back as I can remember. They were doing it 80s, and I know it went in the 90s, but that was amazing. That was when you're playing a division rival 7 or 8 times too, so you could do it home and at home, and still have a lot of games left to spread out throughout the year. If you do home and at home now against a division rival against Chicago, and say you play them 3 times, you got 1 game against Chicago the rest of the season. That's so stupid.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but back then it was 21, 22 teams, and now we're at 32. So
yeah, that's why I'm of the opinion you just can't play the other conference. As much as fun as it is to have other teams come in here, I'd rather have more division games.
I will stand by. I think you could do 1 game against the other conference, every team.
Yeah, that's what they did for a while, right?
But
after the the early parts of the latest expansion, and it was you would play 1 year in your building, the next year in their building, right? And that worked out for 4 or 5 seasons, and yeah.
The only thing
sucked as a Montreal fan, right? Only get to see them every other year, but
the only thing with that is that you run into slightly different strength of schedules, with teams.
No,
so
I'm willing to take that loss to get more division games.
Oh, I am too, but I think I haven't done the math, but whatever it takes to get to 7 or 8 division games against each opponent. That's what I'd like. At least 6. At least 6.
Yep.
It's got to be 6 or more. Can't be. This 3 and 4 shit is bullshit.
The thing that gets me is you implement divisional playoffs and literally even quote it and say, well, we're doing divisional playoffs because we want to have more divisional rivalries. Well, then why the hell are we only playing teams 3 to 4 times during the regular season?
Rivalries are not what they used to be. I think because you don't play a ton of games, mini games against your division anymore. and you don't have that buildup for the playoffs. You don't, and a lot of times in the playoffs, to establish a rivalry, you might face the same team, 3 times in 5 years in the playoffs, and you get that animosity from, either beating them or not beating them. It's just you don't see that anymore because you don't have that anymore, and I think people are wanting more diversity and to play more teams and for every team to see every team. I understand that logic, but at the expense of that comes your heated rivalries, which to me, as a kid, that's what I remember. I remember the knockdown drag out games against Chicago and Minnesota and Toronto. Back in the old Norris division.
I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure
Detroit.
it was Chris Kerber who once polled everybody and said, would you rather have more divisional games or see every conference team twice? Or, everyone, whatever. And it did come back that people said they wanted to see every team. And I think it was Kerber that even said, like, okay, so when we play Columbus on a Tuesday night, that better be a damn sellout. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with you.
I don't think people realize what they were voting for. I mean, I don't think they really understand the ramifications of that. I really don't. I don't think people understand it. What playing a team 6 times, 7 times, 8 times during the course of a season can do to fuel rivalries and create rivalries, especially if you're a good team. You got 2 good teams battling for a division, and you play them 8 times during the season. Holy hell!
Yep,
that's going to be, and maybe face them in the playoffs. Come on, that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we're missing that now. We don't have that anymore. Vegas Wednesday, Columbus Friday, at Columbus on Friday, at Chicago on Saturday. That'll be a fun weekend game against Chicago. And against the Red Wings Tuesday, the Surgent Red Wings, actually, I think. They're playing well.
Yep.
And they just signed Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
I saw something today that said that might be his first game.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Bring him on. Somebody knock him out for the season.
Who? I guess Blake could. Blake could do it, right?
Blake
could knock him out.
It'd be funnier if it's like a Perunovic or somebody. Give me that.
Oh. Parayko. That'd be good. Hey, finally hitting somebody. I think I get into trouble if I were the Blues in-game music decider. If I were to play Warren Zevon's Hit Somebody when Parayko was on the ice. So rapid fire tidbits around the NHL. Jake Wallman's goal celebration. You guys seen it? He does the gritty.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
I fucking love it.
I think it's funny reading comments online about it. Some people love it. Some people absolutely hate it. I don't understand the hate. I get thinking, well, that looks silly, or that looks stupid, or it looks dumb, whatever. But I'm like, I've seen worse. To me, I think, I guess he was a star at the time, so you couldn't really do too much. But Solani's throw the glove up in the air and shoot it down like you shoot.
Love that one.
I did too. I did it when I was, I think, ballpark hockey back in the day. But that to me would warrant, holy shit, next time we play, you're getting your ass beat, because that's over the top celebrating. But so I think, and Wallman's celebration, this was a game-winning goal. This won the game. I have no problem with the celebration. Now, if this came in the second period of a game where he ties the game at 2 or something, then the rest of this game, if I'm on the other team, I'm like, okay, all right, pretty boy, we're gonna rub you out next time into the boards. We're gonna take some liberties with you because you're showing us up during the game a little bit.
Yeah, I think
a game-winning goal is way different than a goal in the second period.
I gotta say, I don't know. I agree that some of the excessive celebrating in the NFL can get a little obnoxious, but for the most part, man, I just think this, again, I've said this with other things when talking about the NHL, this is entertainment. He's putting on a show for the fans. He scores a goal. The fans in the arena loved seeing him do that.
Sure.
And it was fun. And like you said, game-winning goal, the game's over. Like, this is awesome. This is great. Good for him. And something I always say about people always, we hear people say, well, the NHL doesn't have any characters. They don't have anyone that really shows personality. They're all good Canadian boys. So that's what he's doing, is showing his personality, and you're going to have people hating on him for it. Like, and I get some people don't care, but to me, if you want personality in the game, this is a way to bring it out.
I'm going to say that I agree with you, but I'm going to say that I'm going to guess the league's thinking is that this is only going to cause problems as far as, fights or people retaliating. You know what I mean? They're trying to keep the game under control. But again, this is the game-winning goal, and the game shouldn't matter as much. But I guess I can see that they would think that things might get out of control as far as it's like almost like considered taunting in a way. But maybe that's a stretch.
It's against the code of the game.
Can you imagine doing something like that back in the 1960s?
Oh. Well, I don't know if you guys have the Devils Canucks game on, but you might want to turn this one on. Ooh, it was 5-2, and all of a sudden the Canucks have made it 5-4.
Is that on the network?
It's on Sportsnet. That's all I know.
So that would be NHL Network. So
maybe.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I went all the way back out to the menu. Sometimes Roku, man. I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Oh, we've been having no end of fucking problems with our Rokus lately. It's pissing us off.
If I can pull it up here.
Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. If I could read the card here.
Go ahead, keep going.
Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
We had that. What? We used to have that in our show. I forgot what the part of the show that was. We used to have that in our show. That line. What part of the show was that? I forgot.
I mean, it was right around the same time as the. I'm gonna take my dick out, wiggle it at him.
Yeah, but what part of our show was that?
Wasn't it the intro?
I forgot.
Or was that? I thought it was the intro.
I think it was the outro.
Was it? It might have been the outro.
Yeah, because I think he says, "I hope you have the heart attack and die, so I never have to do this shit again."
Yep.
Yeah, that
was the outro.
That's the outro.
Yeah. Okay. I think that just fits perfectly. So the NHL Board of Governors met in Seattle. As I try and pull up the game, is it on TNT?
No, I don't think so. Do you want me to take this, Kurt, so you can find the game?
It's on NHL Network.
All right. It is on NHL Network. There you go.
So that's not ESPN Plus either, is it?
No, it's not. It is on NHL Network.
God damn fucking NHL Network. All it does is lock people out from watching games. Don't let people watch games.
Yeah.
All right, well, go ahead, Kurt. Then you can take it since you can't watch the game. Unless you want me to.
Expansion was not discussed. However, the October meetings. Expansion was not discussed in the Board of Governors meeting. The October meeting suggested the league has received interest from Houston, Atlanta, Salt Lake City, and Quebec City. It's believed new teams will pay upwards of $1 billion in expansion fees. Are you guys in favor of expansion? Do you want the league to expand again?
I could take 2 more teams.
Since we just did this.
Well, they did.
I know, but I'm just saying it seems like
for
too
me,
much too soon.
For me, it's got to be the right teams. It's got to be the right cities. I mean, I think, and Bill, I don't know. I know you're a Montreal fan. I think Quebec City more than deserves a team. They actually paid the expansion fee back when Vegas first did, and they were screwed because Montreal said, no, we don't want to compete. I think they deserve one. I'd love to see like a Houston or something, but man, for me, I don't know. I guess it's just selfish reasons. I want a team in Kansas City. That's what I want.
Would they be the capital of hockey?
Oh, of course.
I'm so if a team goes into Quebec, they've got to be the Nordiques, right?
Oh, hell yes.
No. Yeah.
But how? Okay, okay, yeah, I agree. I would love to see the Nordiques back. However, that is not really a name that you would think that would be that would go over well with new fans. Then what the fuck's a Nordique? You know, you know what I mean? It's
Did
like,
you know what a
is that?
Nordique was back when they were in the league?
No, when I was a kid, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. I Northerner or something like that. I figured. But is that what it is? A Northerner or a Northern something?
What the fuck's a Canuck?
Yeah,
It's a Canadian,
right?
Yeah. So I you know, it just isn't. I don't know. If they bring back the Nordiques, I want the same logo. I want the same name, but I don't think that logo and name fit with today's society. Even though I'd love to see it, and maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think. I think people would rather have it named something else. That aren't old school fans.
I have no idea. I can't comment because
guessing.
I'm in St. Louis.
I'm guessing, but I just the way things go, I'm like, I like the nostalgia. I want to bring that back. I want them to have a team again. I love their jerseys. I love their logo. Again, not that it's a great logo, but it's just nostalgia for me. So, the team, the colors, that color blue and the white was sharp. So, were they the first team to have like the logos and the stripes at the bottom of the jersey?
I feel like that's probably correct, but I can't say for certain.
It wasn't. It wasn't logos. They had fleur de lis.
No, it was a Florida. Yeah, fleur de lis. Right. A logo. Sorry, a logo. Like
a graphic.
Strip of, a graphic. Yes, not stripes. It was a graphic at the bottom of the jersey. So, anyway, yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I mean, I'm not up on the league's financials. Can they support two more teams? Can the market support two more teams? I don't know. Where would they put them?
If it's an expansion fee of $1 billion, they're gonna find a way to get it done.
Oh hell yeah!
I guess
$1 billion for an NHL franchise.
But where were they gonna put them? There's 8 teams in each division right now. They're gonna screw it up, and then let's expand 2 more teams in 6-7 more years.
We have a tie game.
Let's keep getting bigger.
Oh, we do. Poor Kurt.
Adding 2 more teams. This would lead to realignment again, talk, and restructuring of.
I don't know
all this shit again.
I'm okay with it. I like the discussion for it. It makes for some.
I'm all here for talking about it. I like to talk about stuff, but it's someone's got to convince me or just provide information. Oh, okay, I can see why this would be beneficial or a good thing. Aside from a money grab for the league, which doesn't seem right to me to just do it for that. Salary cap projections. Gary Bettman, and this is kind of big news. Commissioner Bill Daley confirmed that the players' debt to the owners from the losses incurred during the pandemic has now been fully paid off, thus eliminating escrow and allowing for the cap to rise by 5% from $83.5 million to $87.7 million for next season.
Let's point out first of all that is not official. They always kind of release that projection, and it usually changes by a little bit, but it does seem that number is hopefully going to go up from 83.5. I'll also say that I don't like the wording here. This is how I saw it worded in every article. It's confirmed the players' debt to the owners from the losses incurred during the pandemic. Like somehow it's the players' fault we had COVID-19. Like that just felt like the weirdest damn wording.
Yeah, I agree. It does sound like the players did something that cost the owners money.
To me, the whole thing sounds very like, I don't know, like mafia shakedown of a union kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's like, same to you guys with your jobs, right? Like your companies, I'm sure, lost money during COVID-19, but you're not hearing the companies come out and saying, well, our employees, we're finally starting to make money again, and the money from our employees has been paid back. What? No, it's not our fault.
It's actually it's a complicated situation with escrow and everything. I remember going back into it. We talked about it, I think, at length on the show at one time after the pandemic about how that was all going to work out. And I remember understanding at the time, but I haven't thought about it since. So I've kind of forgotten how it worked.
I don't understand. I pay into escrow apparently every time I pay my house mortgage, and I don't understand a fucking thing about it.
Oh, I do too. I just do it because I don't want to pay one big tax bill.
Right.
Or pay it off in like 3 installments, whatever it is.
Right.
I'd just rather have it taken out a little bit at a time.
Mhm.
I think you pay a little bit more that way, but I don't care. I don't even notice it. I think you pay like $20 more a year or something for that service or whatever.
Something like that.
You escrowing, Bill?
Oh, hell yes.
I think most people probably do.
Yeah, it's if there's a marginal cost to it, it's totally worth it for.
Oh, I think so.
For
Yeah.
not having one more responsibility on me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cost is. I want to say it was something like $20 a year.
It's minimal.
It's
It's
nothing.
minimal.
Yeah,
and it keeps people employed. Right, banks have to have escrow departments, and yeah,
right.
It's the democratic way to go.
Right. So hey, with the 4 million, where's my notes here? I had something funny I wanted to say. There it is. With the extra 4 million, we can afford to sign another Nick Leddy.
I know that's exactly what I was thinking. The Blues could totally blow this on another mediocre defenseman.
Yay!
Solve all of our problems.
So who's available? Ben Chariot? Ben Chariot? Can we get him?
He's having a bang up year with the Red Wings, I think.
I saw some comments about hey, if we buy out Krug and then we can have this much money and add the 4 million to that, hey, we'll have a lot of money to play with. I'm like, Krug is not getting bought out.
No.
He's got 6 years left or whatever it is, 5 years left or 4 years left.
I think it's 4.
On his contract, whatever it is. And it's 6 point whatever million per year.
No way.
And they have to pay. No, they have to pay. They'd be paying him. So it's like 2030. No, they're not going to do that.
Nope.
They're not going to. They're not going to buy out Krug. If they didn't buy out Scandella 1 year of Scandella, they're not going to buy out anybody with 5 years. There's not a chance. 4 or 5 years. Agreed. Not a chance in hell. Stop saying to buy out Krug. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, to me, what this probably signals is the commonplace $10 million a year contract, right? That's kind of been a number that's only the elite have gotten, and I think we're going to start seeing lesser players getting that number.
So they're going to look back on this. I mean, Thomas's contract and hopefully Kairu's contract at $8 million per. When they're lighting it up in a year or two from now or whatever, among the league leaders, top 10 in scoring, whatever. Hey, $8 million a year. That's a bargain.
Yeah, Thomas to me is already earning it, but Kairu,
I think so.
Kairu,
Kairu's,
he's earning it. He thinks he's earning it with shots taken, but we're not paying you per shot.
Here's the thing too, is that he does take a ton of shots. However, I still think he's shooting more. He passes up some pretty damn good chances, and I'm like, no. Brendan Shanahan, that shit. Shoot every chance you get. Do it all the time. You get a chance of a shot on net. You get a look. Take it. Take the shot. I mean, the best way to break out of a scoring slump is to just fucking shoot more. I think. Get some goals. I discussed artificial intelligence and its potential impact on the NHL's business. Has that talked about as far as what that means? As far as
that's
AI?
Pretty much the only line I saw about it. So yeah, I don't know. Everyone's having that discussion.
Yeah, every business is like,
I was going to say,
let's discuss AI and see how it can impact our business. And nobody in this room knows what AI is or how to use it.
I can not tell you how many times that's come up in discussions at my job, and half the people talking about it have no fucking clue what it is.
Yeah,
well, they say that people who are experts in like creating, manipulating AI to create with AI. That's like the next big job to have.
Yeah,
to be able to use that.
It's every corporation's drooling over it because it means that they can shed more salaries, and that's where we're going.
Yep. Although I think it's got a ways to go as far as like I know I've seen a lot of the AI graphics and stuff. It's like, yeah, some of that stuff's impressive for being automatically generated, but I mean, some of it's rough.
New Jersey 6-5 with 33 seconds left.
Yeah, it was a big rebound given up by
was.
Petrodemko there.
Fuck you, NHL Network.
I think it's because he's not wearing those beautiful graphic pads that CCM did for him. He went with the all whites.
The NHL Network, and I will, what's the word? Prove me wrong. The NHL Network should stream their channel on NHL.com for free.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
Yeah,
I think they should. It should just be available to like my Roku has a bunch of streaming channels.
Yes,
there should be NHL Network should be on that.
All the free, like Plex has a bunch of live TVs free.
Anyway, your goal with NHL Network should not be to make money. It should be to get your product in front of people so they will spend money.
Yes. You make a lot of money as a league. You know, put that money you can take a loss on the financials for streaming NHL Network. You might recoup that cost elsewhere.
Yep.
So it's like grocery stores taking a loss on a certain product because it draws people in to buy other high-priced items.
The loss leader.
Loss leader. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. The NHL draft is to be held at the Las Vegas Sphere in June. Is that official?
Yes.
Okay.
Made official. Yep. I've heard that thing has been just hemorrhaging money.
A buddy of mine went to go see a concert there, and he said it was amazing.
Which was it? The U2?
I don't know who it was. I don't think it was U2.
Depeche Mode?
I don't know who it was. I don't even know who's been there.
Celine Dion?
Concert-wise.
I don't know.
No.
I saw the one.
Could have been Jim Henson's Jug Band. I don't know.
I don't think they play there though. So I saw the one cool thing about the Sphere that I saw. There's a really, really expensive golf course not far from it, and they'll fuck with people. And turn the Sphere into a giant eye that's watching people tee off.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's a little too much pressure for me, especially well, I don't think I'd shell out $600 for a round of golf, but
so the Olympics 2026 hockey NHL players, it's all up in the air. I guess both sides saying it's up to the other side.
From what I saw, it's the NHL basically saying we want you guys to provide travel and insurance and all this stuff for our contracted players, and then the IHF just saying, yeah, we want you to do the same thing for these players. Like basically it's the same conversation they've been having for 25 years.
Are we all in favor of NHL players? And I am.
Olympics
for sure,
100%.
Yeah,
I think the Olympics are supposed to showcase the best athletes in the world, and so for me, that's NHL players.
It was supposed to be amateurs, not the best professional athletes.
Yeah,
best amateur athletes.
Right. That was a talking point for the 1980 Olympics.
Yeah. Well, because that was an issue with Russia and their players, because they got around that, didn't they? They were in the army.
Yeah, they were in the army. They weren't playing professionally.
They weren't paid professionals. Yeah. So, there's I don't know how many of you out there heard the audible fart during Vasilevsky's post-game press conference. I guess this was last night.
Yeah.
Or tonight. Last night. He's answering a question and there's a very audible fart. And there's a pause and Vasilevsky has his head down and he just starts to laugh and smile.
They all start laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he's like, and he forgets the question. Yeah. So what was the question again? It's out there. Look it up. It's funny.
It was.
It's childish, but it's funny.
Fart humor is always
knows no bounds.
Right. It's always going to be appreciated in NHL circles,
and it's always been appreciated across all demographics, any nationality. You know, Russians think it's funny. Europeans think it's funny.
Well,
Swedish,
it's
Americans.
Because they're in this situation where they're all huddled in a little group together and they're having this conversation, asking you questions, and then you just hear something you're not supposed to hear in a situation like that. It's going to make you laugh.
It's funny. I assume it was a reporter. Never happened to you, Jeff?
Let's just say I have smelt it before, but I've never heard it.
You never dealt it. You missed an opportunity. You're a poet and didn't even realize it.
That's true. That's true. No, there was one time I remember being held around Alexander Steen, and somebody let one go, and it was awful. And I remember just even like I remember even catching eyes with Jeremy Rutherford and him just going, and I was like, and I just started nodding my head. And then even you could tell even Steen, like he's kind of like looking around, and I'm like, we all know it's there, but we all kind of stayed straight faced.
I imagine someone that happens always goes to what was his name for 590?
Hadley,
the guy that never Hadley. Yeah, it's always got to be Hadley.
Fuck
every
Hadley.
time.
He wasn't even there, but I'll blame him.
All right. Bennington starts tomorrow, right? You think?
Oh, yeah.
Got to against Vegas? Has to.
He better.
Yeah.
Boy, if not, that's a huge abortion by Berube.
Right. After that performance last night, if you go to Hofer, that's just you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Then you have to answer, well, why didn't Bennington start versus Arizona? If you're going to split these games up, why? I mean, why? Why
not Bennington?
Why not Bennington?
Why not Bennington? You can literally ask that tomorrow night if Hofer starts.
That's right.
Why not Bennington?
Why not Bennington? Oh God, we'll see. There's no chance.
No,
99.9% chance.
No chance.
Not a chance. All right, boys, ready to close it down?
What other option do we have?
Everybody for listening, and always good show. Always fun to talk with you boys about some hockey.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockandthatidlife.com for more information. That is rockandthatidlife.com, and get 10% off by emailing Dustin at rockandthatidlife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. And by Realtor Mike Burgoyne. Give Mike a call today at 314-753-4060 today for all of your home buying and selling needs. That's 314-753-4060. That'll wrap up episode 9 of season 13 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thank you for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder, Bill Day, and Austin Lynch, I'm Kurt Price. Until next time, everyone, fuck Vegas. Let's go Blues.
Fuck Vegas. Fuck Mark Stone. Why not fuck Petrangelo? Let's go Blues.
I'll leave the fucking to you guys. Let's go Blues.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?